Hey guys, it's DestinyLashae. To my subscribers, thank you guys so much for coming back. And to the newbies, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you do not miss a video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all things Fenty Beauty. I tested out a ton of Fenty Beauty products for 5 days, and I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about them. But first, I'm going to give you a review of the products when I initially put them on my face. Some of these products I've tried before, some of them I haven't, but I will explain in like 2 seconds. Go ahead and watch this part first, and I'll give you the tea at the end. I have combination skin, and right now it's winter time, so my skin is a little bit more on the drier side, so I've been adding oils to my face to keep it hydrated. So what I'm going to do today for the foundation, I am going to prime my face first. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier foundation primer in Radiance Bronze. I've been using this non-stop, especially in the winter time because my skin's so dry. So I'm going to put the Laura Mercier on the outer portions of my face. That's what I typically do. So first, I'm going to use the Fenty Pro Concealer in the color 385. I'm going to quickly show you guys swatches of the concealer and what it looks like compared to the foundation. So in the foundation, I'm the color 420. So this is what the swatch 420 looks like. So now this is the Fenty concealer in the color 420, and this is what it looks like compared to the foundation. Honestly, I thought the concealer and foundation, if you get the same number, they can be worn together. But honestly, 420 in the concealer looks a little bit too dark for me, so I'm glad I got the shade 385, which is swatched right next to it. So this is definitely it looks like it would be a good concealer shade for me. I usually go for a concealer that's a little bit more yellow. This one is a little bit on the pink side, but I feel like I can make it work. So I'm going to use the color 385 to carve out my brows. I really do like the applicator though, especially for getting right underneath the brow area. I'm going to use this as my eyeshadow base, and I want to see if it works well with my eyeshadow too. This concealer definitely dries down pretty quickly because when I'm trying to move it around and kind of blend it on my eyelid, it's kind of already stuck in place. Honestly, I feel like I'm really gonna like this as an eyeshadow base because it made my eyes really matte, and the coverage is okay for me. I would say this is about high medium coverage on my eyelids. It's not covering my darkness completely. It's probably buildable, but I'm not gonna put too much on my lids. But I mean, it looks nice to me. So I'm just gonna go in and do my eyeshadow really quick. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the foundation. But last time I tried the foundation, I could wear the color 420, which is this one, or the color 430. They both matched me pretty well. So since I know I'm more on the drier side, I'm gonna use some of my Sunflower Sweet Serum. And this is a serum that I use for my skin, but I'm gonna mix it in with my foundation to make it a little bit more dewy. So I'm gonna pump the foundation on my hand. I'm gonna do 3 pumps. I'm gonna put 1 drop, no, let's put 2 drops of oil in there. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it to my face. I remember this foundation drying down very quickly. Right now, the foundation looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. When I tried it for the first time, first of all, my skin wasn't this smooth. It was very textured, and I didn't add oil to it. So now I'm going to go in with the concealer in the color 385 that we used on the lids. By the way, the eyeshadow went on really nicely on top of the concealer. I had no issues, and it did help my eyeshadow to be a lot more pigmented, which is cool. Okay, so now I'm going to apply the concealer in the areas that I normally would apply concealer, like all over my face. And now I'm going to use my microfiber sponge, and I'm just going to blend that out. As I'm blending this out, it's giving me really weird vibes. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's like not blending out on my forehead. Is it my sponge? I'm gonna try to use a different sponge. Let me try to put a little bit more down here. It could have been my microfiber sponge. First impressions of the concealer underneath my eyes. It's not full coverage. It's very matte. And it picks up a little bit of the foundation as you're blending it. I don't know if it was my microfiber sponge, but as of right now, that's what it's doing. And I can still see like little areas that I want to cover. Let me just see if I put another layer, if it'll do something different. I'm a complete concealer junkie, so I apply a lot of concealer because I just like that brightening effect. We'll just see what happens when I add the powder. I don't know if you guys can tell what I'm talking about, but like right here in this area, it just looks like it lifted the foundation. I don't know. Let me just... Now I'm going to go in and set it with some banana powder. I purchased the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Banana Instant Retouch Setting Powder. Now I'll put a clip of when I went to Sephora to pick up the powder and what shades they had. They had, I think, 7 colors of the Pro Filter setting powder, and the packaging is really, really pretty. I really love the packaging, and I decided to get the color Banana because I like a yellow setting powder. Just opening it up, first impressions. It's really cute, and it has a little FB symbol in the middle, which is cute. It doesn't smell like anything, I don't think. Hold on. No, it has a little bit of a scent. It smells like baby powder, like just a hint of baby powder. I'm gonna dip my sponge in the powder like I usually do, and I'm just gonna go in and set the concealer underneath my eyes. If you're extremely dry, I would not do this because this concealer is already really dry, like matte. I'm just really pressing it in. Powder is very, very finely milled. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell because the lights are so bright, but it's very, very finely milled, and I like that about the powder so far. And I'm gonna put some right here. I'm gonna put some on my chin. So I'm just gonna brush this away. So as I'm sweeping this away, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like a hole right here. I didn't do anything. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick photo and see if this powder gives me any flashback. Okay, so it doesn't really give me flashback at all. It just kind of makes my under eyes look a little bit brighter. Okay, so now all I'm gonna do is finish the rest of my face. I'm gonna use the Fenty Matchstick in the color Espresso. This is something that I love and I use it all the time. I'm just gonna blend that out with my angled fluffy brush, and then I'm adding Trophy Wife highlighter by Fenty. I don't wear this that often, but it's very pretty, and I'm just putting that on my highlighty areas. And then I also went in with my MAC Fix Plus spray to just set my face. I do this every time I do my makeup just to make the cakiness go away. I have a special guest with a runny nose right next to me with putty in her hair. Oh my gosh. Say hi.
Hi.
This is my baby Leilani. Leilani sits right next to me while I film all my videos most of the time. Unless she's in school. A real life moment. So yeah, just keep watching and you'll see how I feel about the Fenty products at the end of the week. So I decided to test the concealer on my mom. This is the color 445, and I'm just dotting it underneath her eyes. So I decided to try this on my mom because I know everyone's skin is different and everyone's skin reacts differently to different products. So I put one layer of the concealer on her face, just dotting it on and blending it out with a beauty blender. It was not full coverage at first. I did have to layer it, so I put another layer, and then it was about high medium coverage, and then I set it with some banana powder on top. I mean, it looks pretty good. I did spray her face just to get rid of some of the powderiness, and this is what her eye looks like. So I did one eye and I left the other eye as is. Okay, so on to the next day. This is day 3 and I'm doing my makeup again per usual. I'm using the Pro Filter foundation, just pumping that directly on my face. This day I did not use oil. I had oil already on my face first, and then I just applied the foundation. It worked out pretty well because I had a ton of oil on my face already. Now I'm using the concealer. I'm trying to dot it on my face like I did with my mom this time, just to see if it'll work out a little bit better for me. While blending it out with the Beauty Blender, I figured that I would try blending it out with a brush. Honestly, guys, this concealer works a lot better if you blend it out with a brush instead of a beauty blender. For me, when you use a damp beauty blender, it kind of picks up the product like it did before. Using a brush definitely gives you a lot more, better results. And I went in and set it with the Fenty banana powder just to make sure we're not getting any creasing, and this is how it looks. It looks a lot better because I applied it with a brush. So now this is day 4. I'm applying the foundation again. This time I went in with the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, one of my favorite concealers. This concealer is really full coverage and it's hydrating underneath the eye. This is a concealer that I love. So I'm blending that out with my Beauty Blender, and then I'm setting it with the Fenty banana powder. And yeah, this is how it's looking. And then I also added my Fenty contour, and I'm highlighting with, I cannot remember what highlighter this is, but this is how my face looks. I love how my face looks right here. Now on day 5, I tested it out on my friend. I used the same products that I used on myself. I used the Fenty Pro Filter foundation in the same color, and I also used the concealer in the same color that I used. And then I'm also using the banana powder, setting that underneath her eyes. Oh, my friend's name is Crystal, by the way. And I'm just brushing that away. On Crystal, the concealer was very matte as well, and it did make her, under eye lines look prominent. But after setting it with the banana powder, it looked a lot better. We both said the same thing while I was doing her makeup, and we said it at the same time. So I was like, okay, I know I'm onto something. So I contoured her face with the contour stick, and I added some highlight and chiseled those cheeks. Okay, and we did this on a whim because I wanted to test everything out on her. But this is how it looks. Her face looked beat, and she actually slept in this, which she shouldn't have, but it looked really, really good after I sprayed her face. So in today's video, I tried out a ton of Fenty products. You kind of got my feel of some of the products as I was applying them, and of course what I said. But just to wrap up everything, I have been wearing the products for 5 days. Before I get into like the final wrap up review of everything, my sister actually bought me the Fenty Beauty Fussy lip gloss. I'm obsessed with her lip glosses, okay? But I have not tried the Fussy one. Let's just see what it looks like. This gloss looks more sheer, in my opinion. I love the Fenty Glow Gloss because it kind of cancels out any darkness that I have on my lips. This one definitely is a little bit more on the pink side for sure, but it still looks really, really good. Like, I just love the formula of these glosses. They're not too sticky, they're not too tacky. They just look really shiny, and I love that in a gloss, so this is probably going to be a fave too. So the first product that really surprised me was the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation. Now this foundation was something that I hated. I'm not gonna lie, I hated it because my skin is more on the normal to dry side. When I first tried it out, I did not add any oil to it, and I thought it was just way too sheer. At the time, my skin wasn't doing too well, and it was very textured, so I had a lot of trouble with using this foundation. Now my skin has gotten a lot better and it's less textured. My skin is still normal to dry at this point, but this foundation I actually really enjoy using. The only thing that I would prefer is if they made a more full coverage foundation, because I would say this foundation is about medium coverage, and if they made a dewy or normal skin formula. I feel like a lot of people are oily, but I feel like a lot of companies leave out the dry gals. Like when it comes down to people that have normal to dry skin, we tend to get left out sometimes because, you know, oil is a lot harder to control. With us, we can just really moisturize and add oil to stuff. But on an everyday basis, I know personally I would love a full coverage foundation that I don't have to dock up. But this I really do like. If you do have acne or if you have scarring, you would have to use a concealer before using this foundation. Okay, so the next product is the Fenty concealers. So personally, I love the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. That concealer is made for dark circles and it's really hydrating underneath the eyes. I have dry under eyes and that's something that I can't help. So when I apply a really matte concealer underneath my eyes like this one, it creases a lot. For me personally, Fenty sent me these concealers actually. I bought everything else. I would not use these. I say that because my under eyes are really dry and I can't get away with it. As you've seen in the clips that I put in before, my mom, the concealer looks fine on her. It is a little bit creasy, but it looks perfectly okay. I also tried the concealer and everything else on my friend, as you saw before, and it looked perfectly fine on her. I feel like when it comes down to products, you just gotta try them for yourself and see if you like them. But for me, I'm going to keep these obviously because I didn't buy them, but I'm gonna use them on like my friends, or my friends can use them when they come over. But my under eyes are way too dry for these. This is a really matte thick concealer and I tend to gravitate towards the total opposite. I like concealers that are thin, full coverage, and that are a little bit more hydrating in formula. If you don't have that many like wrinkles or like creases underneath your eyes, you might like this. I don't think this concealer is full coverage in one like application. You do have to build it up. I would say it's really high medium coverage, but it's not full, you know what I mean? I feel like this would be better using this as a like spot concealer. I could see this being a really good spot concealer. As a eyeshadow primer though, I would use this as an eyeshadow primer because it does mattify my eyelids and it makes eyeshadow really easy to apply. Okay, so the next product is the powder. So I have the Pro Filter powder in the color Banana. So I really like this powder. I enjoy it. I'm wearing it today. It really brightens up the under eye area. It's not super dry. Throughout the day, like as I was wearing it, it looked perfectly fine. It gave me no flashback. As you could see in the previous clips. This is a product that I would purchase again. I really enjoy this banana powder and it looks really good on top of almost any concealer. This powder does mattify your face, but it can be used under the eyes without you creasing like crazy. So I really do like this. It mattifies and the color is nice. So honorable mentions, I really like the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Espresso. I have almost all of my friends using this. Not this specific one, but they have bought their own because they really like mine. And I use it almost every time I do my makeup. So this is a really good contour stick and it looks really good on my skin tone. It doesn't make my skin look muddy or anything. It's like perfect. And the formula is really nice. It's stiff enough to where it doesn't move all over your face to contour, but then it's creamy enough to blend out and stay put throughout the day. So I really like this matchstick. Like I mentioned before, I really do like the gloss bombs and also the highlighter. I do like the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife highlighter. This is a highlighter that I'll probably be wearing on my birthday, but this is not a everyday highlight at all. They do have other highlighters that I do like that I haven't purchased yet, but this one is a really good party highlighter. It's very glittery. It's a very unique shade, but I do like this and I probably will never have to purchase this again because it's so unique. So yeah, but I like this. So yeah, that's it guys. I hope this review helped you out. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you want me to review next, and also tell me what is your favorite Fenty Beauty product, and let's just have a Fenty Beauty discussion down below in the comments because, you know, I do want to try some more products from their line. I just don't know really what I want to try next. So let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Like, what are you doing? And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.